Hello YouTube gardeners. Back in May I did a video on this trellis, on building this trellis back here, and it's basically a take on the invisible trellis that Simple Sustainable Living Family Dad posted I think a couple years ago. But we really liked the design and we kind of just took that design and modified it a bit to fit our needs. But the problem is, back then I was using music over the voice, which is a really bad idea. I've since stopped doing that. So I get lots of complaints that they can't hear my voice, and I agree. It's really hard to hear. The music's too loud, and also when I was taping it, the camera was too far away to see exactly what was going on. So I'm going to go ahead and do this update video to show you how it turned out. Just get in close to show you how we built it. It's really worked out great. My tomatoes this last spring and summer loved growing up it. It's very sturdy and it's very inexpensive. It cost us under $15. Alright, so let me get over here. This tomatillo plant I'm going to be ripping out today. It's definitely done. It's beautiful, but it's pretty weathered, and I'm going to go ahead and get this ground freed up for planting some more winter veggies. You can see the snap peas are climbing up the invisible trellis. Oh wow, I don't know if you heard that sound, but that was a hummingbird that just flew super close to my head. So I just took one of those nets and draped it over the top of this trellis and then tied it with a couple of you could see the green ties back there. Really, really easy. And these snap peas are just climbing on up and they're looking beautiful. They really, really love this spot. Alright, so I'm going to come on over here. And if you saw the video, the original video that I posted back in May, this tomato plant was a baby, and you could see it's just huge. It's got all kinds of fruit on it still. Look at that. Super beautiful little cherry tomatoes still growing in there. Got some ripening. This cherry tomato just loves this spot, and it's shaded all day, so I'm actually pretty surprised. But during the summer it was in full sun. And then got some little strawberries back there. Alright, so the first step in building this trellis was digging very, very deep holes. So you can see here the materials we used were 2x4s. So I have one 2x4 on the end here, and then one 2x4 on that end, and then this top piece is a 1x2, and then we have a bottom piece that is a 1x2. So when it's all screwed together, and we use these Makita, and you could see that we just screwed them at those points, same as on the bottom. When it's all screwed together, it makes a big rectangular shape. So the way we started was we dug deep, deep holes because we wanted this 2x4 to go into the earth as deep as possible, and then I added a bunch of decomposed granite that we have on our property, but you can just get a bunch of crushed rock if you're going to do something similar, and just pack it in really, really good. I added a bunch of water and then packed it in again. So I had the deep hole here for this 2x4, and then I did the same on the other end for that 2x4. Once I got them nice and secured and the dirt packed around it really well, then we came in with the 1x2 And I just came over to this side to get a better shot of it. This piece of wood is just the above ground bed. This piece right here is the 1x2, and we mounted it in between the 2x4s. So this is for support. It added nice support at the bottom. We got that mounted, and then we came up here and got a level and made sure that this 1x2 was level, and then we secured it with, you can see it's split, darn it, but it's holding up. We secured it with some screws. That is how incredibly easy it is to do that simple frame structure. And then the next step was getting these little eye screws placed in there, and I just put these in by hand, but I would recommend using a screwdriver, because once you start threading it by hand, then you could just slip the screwdriver in there and just twist it around, and it'll get in there really quicker than turning it with your fingers. So I placed one at the top, and I spaced them out every 18 inches. So I have 4 total on each end. Then from there, I used some 25-pound wire, and I just fed it through. I started at one end and fed it through to the other end, brought it down to the next level, fed it through, brought it down, and so on. So extremely easy. And then I had to tighten it a bit. It's a little saggy now after the tomato plants have kind of laid on it, but they're really sturdy, and it's worked out extremely well. And the last thing I did was put a light stain on it. So it's so extremely easy. It was, like I mentioned earlier, under $15. You don't have to have a Makita to put this thing together, but it makes it go a lot quicker. But you certainly can just use a screwdriver to get those screws in there. And we like it so much, I'm going to end up putting it on this bed behind me, because my husband has built me some beautiful raised beds over by our hill. So I'm going to be growing corn over there, which means I can get another trellis on the bed behind me and grow some more climbing vegetables, tomatoes, and stuff like that. But definitely really recommend this trellis. I was noticing that I kept saying 2x4s. These are actually 2x3s, and the top piece here is a 2x2. So we have 2x3s, not 2x4s, and then the top and bottom are 2x2s, but we would recommend going all 2x3s, and that's what we'll do for the next one that we build. All right, hopefully this explains better on how we made this trellis. We really love it and hope you try it. Enjoy your garden.